Hi, I'm Tanya, and this is the Midnight Creak. We're not just talking about history, we're talking about history that refuses to stay buried. We're venturing deep into the heart of Cornwall, to a place where the granite walls themselves seem to hold on to centuries of suffering and despair. Bodmin Jail. If you like our content, please subscribe.
Oh, Bodmin Jail. Just hearing the name sends a shiver down my spine, honestly. I've read so many accounts, and it just sounds like a place where the energy of the past is almost palpable. You know, like the very air is thick with it.
It truly is, Mark. Built in 1779, it wasn't just any prison. It was a brutal establishment designed to break spirits, not just bodies. Over 50 prisoners met their end on the gallows within its walls. Think about that for a second. 50 lives extinguished, many unjustly, within that single complex.
And when you consider the sheer emotional weight of that, the fear, the desperation, the raw human emotion concentrated in one spot for over 100 years, it's almost understandable why people believe there's a residual imprint left behind. It's a psychological crucible, in a way.
Exactly, Andrew. It's not just a rumour. Locals and visitors alike consistently rank it as one of the most haunted locations in the entire UK. And when you look at the reports, they're not just vague feelings. People describe really specific, chilling phenomena.
Oh, absolutely. The disembodied voices, for instance. Imagine walking through those cold, empty cell blocks and you hear a whisper, or a groan, or even a full sentence, and there's absolutely no one else there. I mean, my heart would just stop.
And it's not just voices. The sound of rattling keys and chains, sometimes accompanying those voices. You picture the old wardens, the prisoners, the daily grind of the jail, and then you hear those sounds in an empty corridor. It's almost as if the past is replaying itself.
It speaks to that idea of stone tape theory, doesn't it? Where intense emotional events are somehow imprinted onto the physical environment, almost like a recording that can spontaneously replay. The granite of Bodmin Jail, having witnessed so much, could theoretically be a perfect medium for such an imprint.
That's a fascinating perspective, Andrew. And what about the physical sensations? People talk about sudden dramatic drops in temperature, even in areas that are otherwise warm, and that overwhelming sense of dread. It's one thing to hear something, but to feel it, to feel that oppressive weight.
That's the worst part for me. That sense of dread. It's like you're tapping into the fear that was so prevalent there. Imagine the last moments of someone condemned, the sheer terror. To feel even a fraction of that would be truly horrifying.
It's a testament to the conditions, too. These weren't comfortable prisons. They were designed to be harsh, to deter, and the lives lived within were often short, brutal, and without hope. That kind of environment, that raw suffering, it leaves a mark.
Indeed. And visually, the reports of shadowy figures moving between cells, or even full apparitions of former wardens patrolling and prisoners lingering in the dark, it pushes beyond mere auditory or emotional experiences into something truly profound. It suggests an intelligent haunting, or at least a very vivid residual one.
It really does. And these aren't just generic shadows. There are specific, notorious spirits linked to Bodmin Jail, figures whose stories are just as tragic as their perceived hauntings. Andrew, you've looked into some of these, haven't you?
Oh, absolutely. The one that always sticks with me is Selina Wadge, executed in 1878 for the murder of her child, though many believe she was innocent, driven to desperation by poverty. She's often described as a distressed woman in white, appearing suddenly and then vanishing. Just thinking about her story, it's heartbreaking.
Her case is a prime example of the harsh realities of justice in that era. A woman in dire straits, and the system showed little mercy. It's no wonder her spirit might feel trapped, unable to find peace.
And if she was indeed innocent, or at least not fully culpable, then the injustice itself could be the anchor. The emotional turmoil of being wrongly accused or severely punished beyond what's fair could absolutely create that intense, lingering energy.
Then there's Matthew Weeks, another convicted murderer. He's believed to still wander the jail after his execution. I mean, from a psychological standpoint, do you think some of these spirits are replaying their last moments, or are they truly conscious of their state?
I think it could be both, honestly. With Matthew Weeks, maybe he's just stuck in a loop, reliving the terror. But with Selena, the distressed woman aspect makes it sound like she's actively seeking something, or expressing her sorrow. That feels more conscious, you know?
It raises the question of whether these are sentient entities or simply energetic echoes. The fact that the jail was active for so long and then fell into disrepair before its recent revitalization might also have concentrated that energy. It's like a battery that was slowly charging with despair.
And let's not forget Anne Jeffries, accused of witchcraft, which brings a whole other layer of societal paranoia and fear into the mix. Her story is tied to eerie sightings and unexplained activity. The persecution of individuals like her adds a particularly dark chapter to the jail's history, a chapter ripe for continued ghostly presence.
A dark chapter indeed. And these stories are so compelling that people actively seek out these encounters. Bodmin Jail now runs overnight paranormal investigations. Mark, Sarah, Andrew, would any of you brave an overnight ghost hunt there?
Oh, I'm almost ashamed to admit it, but yes, 100%. I'm terrified, but the curiosity would absolutely get the better of me. I'd go in with all the equipment, EMF readers, Ouija boards, just to see if I could make contact. I'd probably be clinging to Andrew the whole time, though.
I'd approach it with a healthy dose of scientific skepticism, but an open mind. I'd be looking for explanations, but also willing to accept if something truly inexplicable occurred. It would be a fascinating human experience, if nothing else, to be in that environment, in the dead of night.
I think I'd go, but I'd be the one standing slightly behind everyone else, just observing. I'm fascinated by the history, but the idea of actively trying to provoke contact, that's a whole other level of commitment. I'd prefer to be an armchair ghost hunter for that one.
That's fair, Andrew. I think I'm with Sarah, honestly. My heart would be pounding, but I'd have to try. People leave these investigations convinced, shaken, and some famously refuse to speak about what they experience at all. What do you think that silence means?
I think it means they saw something that genuinely broke their understanding of reality, or something so terrifying, so profoundly disturbing, that they just can't articulate it. That's actually more chilling than the screaming, isn't it? The sheer inability to process or speak about it.
It could be trauma, or it could be something so personal, so deeply impactful that they feel it's not for public consumption. Or perhaps it simply defies all logical explanation to such an extent that trying to explain it feels futile, or even diminishes the profoundness of the experience.
Or it could be a combination of psychological suggestion, the environment, and perhaps genuine anomalous activity. When you're in a place like Bodmin Jail, steeped in such a dark history, your mind is primed to perceive things differently. But that doesn't mean everything is imaginary either.
That's a great point, Andrew. The power of expectation combined with the actual environment. It creates a fertile ground for experiences, whether they're supernatural or psychological. But what is it about these places, these former prisons, that makes them such magnets for the paranormal?
I think it's the sheer intensity of emotion. Prisons aren't just buildings. They're concentrated zones of fear, regret, anger, and hopelessness. It's like a spiritual pressure cooker. All that raw human experience just doesn't dissipate, it lingers.
And the sudden, often violent, cessation of life. An execution isn't a peaceful passing, it's a forceful removal from the world, often accompanied by immense terror and pain. That kind of energy, in that final moment, could easily become stuck, an echo of a life abruptly cut short.
And the repeated cycle of it, too. It wasn't just one execution, it was dozens, over decades, each one adding another layer of traumatic energy to the fabric of the place. It became, in essence, a monument to human suffering, a place where the barrier between worlds feels incredibly thin.
It's chilling to think about, isn't it? The idea that these souls, these individuals, are still tethered to that place, unable to move on. Whether it's Selena Wadge, Matthew Weeks, or even just the anonymous prisoners and wardens, their stories continue to be told, not just in history books, but in the very air of Bodmin Jail.
It really makes you wonder about the concept of justice and sentence, doesn't it? For some, the legal sentence might have ended, but their spiritual sentence, their lingering presence, seems to go on indefinitely. It's a truly powerful and unsettling thought.
It forces us to confront the idea that death isn't always a finality, at least not in the sense we typically understand it. These places serve as a stark reminder that some energies, some stories, are so potent they transcend the physical realm and continue to interact with ours.
And it also ensures that the history isn't forgotten. The hauntings, the reports, they keep the memories of these individuals alive, even if it's in a spectral form. It's a very unique way for the past to communicate with the present.
Absolutely. It's a powerful, tangible connection to a difficult past. And it makes Bodmin Jail more than just a historical building. It makes it a living, breathing testament to untold stories and unresolved pain. Thank you all for sharing your insights on this truly haunting location. Behind the thick granite walls of Bodmin Jail, justice may have been served, but for some, their sentence never truly ended. Until next time, stay curious and stay afraid.